Somebody's curious. No, you can't have the peanuts. Come on. Not happening. Come on. Alright, Danny got the peanuts, and on the other end the beans. The grass is trying to come up in there, so he was hoping to get the middles. Maybe we'll get out here with a hoe and get the rest of this grass chopped down. It's mainly, I think, that Johnson grass off and on, and the other's just little teeny weeds if we can get it chopped off today. Not in this heat. It's hot. I'm canning onions, caramelized onions, so I am headed back in. Tonight I am starting some onions in the crock pot. I put a stick of butter in there. These are all the little teeny ones. I've peeled and cut up a crock pot full of them. This is the next size onions. I'm going to do these few to fill out the top here. And having these small onions, it's more packed than onion rings. So I'm going to have to stir it off and on. I'm going to let this go about 8 hours. And then I'm going to cool it down and save it for tomorrow. We're going to can these onions. But 1 stick of butter, onions. I've got it on low. And I'm going to come through and just stir it off and on. I'll put the lid on it and let it go all night. Every time I get up, I'm going to stir it. And we're going to see what the onions look like tomorrow, and then we're going to be canning them. Three jars of caramelized onions, processed at 75 minutes. Now that is some dark looking onions, isn't it? Danny put a touch of sweet potato right there. Let's see what she does. She didn't see it. Of course she's going to find it.
Yeah, it went right to it.
She's like, I know where that's at.
So she's a sweet tater eating dog.
She can smell food. Big
Thank the
time.
Lord we got all these sweet taters this year.
She's going to come in handy between you and her. I'm going to have to have sweet potatoes. She said, where's the rest?
It's all gone. Ain't no more.
Many people's asked what I do with squash. So I had some bacon grease from this morning. I poured it in here. It's about a tablespoon and a half. I cut up my onions. This is one of our onions that I cut up and sauteed down in here. I'm going to add the squash in a few minutes, and we're going to stew squash and onions down in a little bit of bacon grease for flavoring, and we're going to add salt and pepper. I've added my squash in now. You can hear the onions sizzling in the bottom. I had let them just turn translucent in there, and then we add the squash on top. We're just going to stir that around in a minute, add our salt and pepper, and about half a cup of water. And then we're going to put a lid on it and let this sit and steam. Probably at medium heat for about 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. I have my Azure Standard pepper in one of these McCormick. I marked out McCormick, wrote Azure up here so I know what I've got in here, but black pepper from Azure Standard. And this is Redmond's mineral salt. Just got it in here. I can take a spoonful out. I like the wide mouth jars for this. Works awesome. And you can hear it, it's still just sizzling down. I haven't added the water yet. As you can see, some of them are already turning colors. You can see here, as I flip it, you see the difference in the colors. I just kind of, all of them won't be done that way, but I just kind of keep flipping it for a couple of minutes to kind of get some heat through all of them, and then we add the half a cup of water. The more you stir, the more you're going to see that your squash are turning. I'll do this probably one more time before I add this half cup of water to it, and then put the lid on and let it simmer for a few minutes. Back here, Miss Lucy. I cut these bigger pieces into chunks. I boil this down in just a little bit of water, not soft and falling apart, but just boil it for maybe 10 minutes, and then it's good for her to eat. That's part of her diet. She gets 4 or 5 cubes every day in either lunch or supper meals. I'm going to turn this down below medium. Put the lid on and just let it simmer there and let this cook. And it should be done in about 10 minutes. This is boiling really well. It's probably been going about 5-6 minutes. We're going to shut it off in just a second. This has also been going 5 or 6 minutes. You see how it's changing color. Another 5 minutes. We're going to stir one more time and just move it off the heat with the lid on it and leave it alone. This will get shut down in less than 5 minutes. In the crock pot, on this side I have ribs, on this side I have pork chops. We like it with brown sugar on it, so I've added my salt and my pepper. I added probably a cup of water in the bottom of my crock pot, added brown sugar all over everything, and this is the Azure Standard brown sugar. I've been buying that, and I love the brown sugar. Now we're going to add some of our onions. I cut up 2 small onions, and I'm just going to throw them around in there because we like onions with the pork, and it makes a great meal. We'll have probably 4 or 5 meals at least out of this once it's done, but this is for supper tonight. Miss Lucy's squash has been turned off, and it's just going to be set aside over here. Let it cool off. I'll take it out of the water, put it in a container, and put it in the fridge. I always keep her stuff in containers in the fridge. Take it out an hour or 2 before lunch. and let it get room temperature. This is the last time I've stirred the squash. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? We're just going to let it sit, put the lid on it, turn this off, and the steam from underneath, I'm going to just leave it sitting on there because there's no fire going to it. And we'll be ready to eat squash with the rest of our meal in a little while. Okay, Lucy's bowl has squash and beef. It's part of a roast I just cut into small pieces, and beef. And sometimes I'll throw just about a tablespoon of kibble in there if she acts like she's still hungry, but usually this will kind of take care of this meal. This is just one of many that we are starting to incorporate into her diet. As a farmer's dog, she's going to end up eating what the farmers eat. I also cooked several Cherokee tan pumpkins down, and I put some Cherokee tan puree in the fridge to use. So I probably will add a spoonful of the Cherokee tan puree to her food also. That gives her just a slightly bit of pumpkin added to it. And for the farmer, I did 1 pint of Cherokee tan pumpkin in the bottom. I added 2 eggs, a little less than half a cup of regular sugar, and less than half a cup of brown sugar, less than half a cup of oat flour, which is this right here from Azure Standard, a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 eggs, and some vanilla flavoring. I'm going to mix this up, throw it in the oven, and I'll show you what the farmer's food's going to look like in a little while. Y'all, my helper is laying down on the job. She's over there sleeping, but I guarantee you when Danny walks in that door, she knows it's lunchtime. She's going to come running. All right, we've taken the Cherokee tan dessert out of the oven, and I have made a salad. I used our tomatoes, green onions, banana peppers, jalapenos, and lunchbox orange peppers. I had an onion. All of that was from our place. And the helper awakes because she thinks it's time to eat. I added some pesto in there from Miss Rebecca from Silver Run Coffee Crafters. This stuff is amazing. And then Tim and Heidi got me from Past Christian olive oils and vinegars. Down on the coast, some cinnamon pear balsamic vinegar. If you're interested, www.gulfcoastoliveoils.com. This stuff is amazing. She's gotten me 3 different types. The other was, black cherry. This stuff, I've almost used all of it. It is absolutely phenomenal on this. This will be my first time using the cinnamon pear. And then she got me one to try, the Black Mission Fig. She says this one is amazing. So they have little travel sizes, trial sizes, I guess. They have this size, and they have a size bigger than that. But today, we are using the cinnamon pear on it. I'm going to drizzle some over, mix in the pesto and olive oil mixture, and I'll be ready to eat. We're just waiting on Danny. All right, Lucy. She likes her stuff. She's got Cherokee tan, squash, and a little bit of beef. And the farmer has Cherokee tan, beef, and some squash, some peas, peppers, and tomatoes.
Cherokee yellow wax beans, not peas.
Cherokee yellow wax beans.
Yeah, it's a lot of difference.
Probably. I need you to try the pumpkin.
Try the pumpkin. Yeah, I just got in, and I'm like, ah.
I know dessert.
I'm about to fall asleep. I've been going so much.
Dessert before food.
Yeah, I'm wait. Wait, you want me to test it? So. It's unusual.
It's got a weird taste. I hadn't even tasted it yet.
No, I mean, It's really good.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, is that the ones out of the field?
Yeah.
I would have figured they'd had a squashy taste. Yeah.
No, it
I mean, it tastes really, really good. I gotta say
tastes
that.
like pumpkin.
Yeah, it tastes just like a sweet pumpkin.
Well, I did put some sugar and brown sugar in it.
Well, okay, maybe that's why it's so sweet. But I mean, well, it's good. But I want to save it to the end because I don't want to eat it all up front, you know?
So the dog's a farmer's dog, and farmer eats, the dog eats.
I love my Cherokee yellow rice beans. Is that cooked in bacon grease?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it. I knew it was. Man, you can't beat that.